Buenas noches a todos, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? Bienvenidos al canal YouTube Sports Máximo. Soy José María, estamos aquí con Vampyr. Vamos a estar 1 hora y media, máximo 2 horas con él. Y luego a las 12 de la noche, 11:55, tenemos un gran estreno exclusivo de PlayStation y en PC, que es de aquí, que se llama Eternite, ¿vale? Es un juego exclusivo, este juego no está en Nintendo ni tampoco en Xbox, ¿vale? Solamente en PC y PlayStation, de momento. Más adelante no sé lo que pasa en el futuro, ¿vale? Este juego es un juego impresionante, es un juego, por lo que tengo entendido, un RPG tipo Persona 5, ¿vale? Ha cogido ideas de allí y también hack and slash, los combates. O sea, el juego es brutal, brutal. Bueno, ya lo veis el tiempo atrás, le queda restante 1 hora y 38 minutos. Así que luego lo vemos a él y estaré un par de horitas, ¿vale? Y si nos gusta, pues le meteremos caña prácticamente todos los días. Y este juego de terror, Ad Infinitum, es un juego que hace años que está en desarrollo. Dicen, por los entendidos, que es el juego número 1 en terror. O sea, es muy fuerte este juego. Y he comprado la versión más tocha, la más potente, para tenerlo unos días anticipados, ¿vale? Lo tendremos mañana a las 11 de la noche. Antes no, porque tengo que hacer unas compras y no me da tiempo llegar antes a casa. Entonces, esto lo tendremos pues mañana a las 11 de la noche, a ver qué tal este juego de terror, ¿vale? Y nada, vamos con Vampyr. Ya. Buenas noches, Don Tato, Paco. Hay que dar caña a este canal. Caña, caña. Sergi, buenas noches. Tenemos, con Borderlands 3, tenemos 2 sesiones. Yo calculo que unas 12 horas. 10-12 horas, porque quiero hacer unas cuantas secundarias y aprovechar que me quedan, nada, 5 o 7. Y quiero hacerlas también. O sea, es un juego, joder, larguito, ¿eh? O sea, mañana por la mañana no puedo hacer directo. Mañana por la mañana haré directo, por la tarde tampoco. Mañana solamente haremos directo por la noche. Y al día siguiente, o sea, el miércoles, mañana es tarde noche, ¿vale? El jueves ningún problema. Entonces el miércoles le meteremos caña unas 6 horitas a Borderlands 3 y el jueves también, el jueves ya lo terminamos. Buah, Borderlands 3, buah. Y quería probar hoy Borderlands 2 porque he visto a mi sobrino jugando y se ve, con la versión remaster, se ve muy bien ese juego. Parece un juego nuevo. Borderlands 2 parece un juego nuevo. Y vi cosas que me gustaban. Solo vi 2 minutos, para evitar spoilers. Sí, pues unas 10 o 12 horas me quedan. 6 misiones principales, Sergi, más las secundarias. 10 o 12 horas me quedan. La música está por encima de tu voz. Ahora la bajo. Ahora no hay música. Bueno, sí que hay música, sí. ¿Ahora qué tal? ¿Mejor? ¿Bien ahora o no? ¿Bajo más la música? ¿O no hace falta? Buenas noches, Gonzalo. ¿Has jugado a Sherlock Holmes? Sí, y lo hemos completado. Esa versión lo hemos completado al canal. Interroga. Espérate. Tengo que localizar. Tienen que interrogar a Graham Branagh sobre la negligencia médica, pero no sé quién es este tío. No sé quién es. Tenemos que localizar que está por aquí.
It's locked, all right.
¿Puede ser este?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead. A colleague? Are you a doctor too? Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue. What do you mean? You used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked? No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise.
A ver,
I run a
Gonzalo,
little
esa versión que tú
pawn shop while
dices,
taking care of the dead.
luego sacan
But
una
I
nueva,
used to be a real
Gonzalo,
doctor.
como un remake, que es el que jugamos en el canal. Pero el original tiene muchos años.
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here. Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods. What kind of goods? With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade. I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help. Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital. I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people. Please show me what you have to sell. Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later. It's locked.
These nurses, bred with no respect. Someone's poached my blanket. Oh, the cold will be my death.
I wish I could be sick again. From my blood, my fever.
It's locked, all right. I cannot enter. It's locked, all right.
We are capable of. It is now.
I know we are overwhelmed by this horrifying epidemic.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets. Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Tell me what Dr. Tippett did. I know his mistake caused a patient's death.
If I had not covered up his error, Dr. Tippett would have been fired from this hospital. I could not let that happen.
You can't allow your emotions to dictate your conduct concerning patients, Nurse Brannigan.
Look around you, Dr. Reed. Do you really think we can afford to lose a brilliant practitioner like Dr. Tippett's in our situation?
I can't say I approve of what you did. But as a field surgeon, I know that some situations require you to bend the rules.
I'm not proud of what I've done, but to contain the epidemic must be our priority, so we can't afford to lose Dr. Tippett.
I've decided that I won't reveal Dr. Tippett's, shall we say, misdemeanor.
I'm so glad you share my point of view. Dr. Tippett is a brilliant practitioner. We most definitely need his know-how.
I hope you're right. This is a huge risk we're taking.
Dr. Tippett must regain his confidence. Please, keep this decision between you and me. He doesn't need to know you found out.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Vale, investigación superada. Ahora tenemos que hacer ya la principal, porque las secundarias ya están hechas aquí de momento. Darme 2 minutos, señores, que tengo que hablar con mi mujer, ¿vale? Y ahora vuelvo con vosotros, ¿vale? ¿De acuerdo? Que si merece la pena el juego de Sherlock Holmes que comentaste, yo lo completé. Si lo completé, es que vale la pena. Ahora vengo. Bueno, señores, ya estoy de vuelta. Tengo que ir aquí. ¿Aquí qué hay? Aquí hay... Aquí me parece que hay, a ver. Aquí hay un escondite. Vale. Allí hay un escondite. Tendría que primero ir al escondite, dormir y luego hacer la misión. Porque solo falta que muera y tengan que empezar desde muy atrás, ¿sabes? Si vamos para allá y... A ver si lo puedo marcar aquí. Aquí. Vale. Backtracking, ¿qué tal? Buenas noches. ¿Qué tal, Vampyr? Muy bueno juego. ¿Qué hay? $65, 15, 90. A mí que me dan miedo los vampiros. Chillan, ¿no, vampiro? No me extraña que la gente no vaya por la calle. ¡Hostia!
believe I'm
Pero
doing this.
tiene que haber un refugio.
More and more of these bloody leeches every day.
Las ratas está cerca de algún refugio.
It's closed.
Y tiene nivel más alto que yo, ¿eh? El problema está cuando te atacan 2 o 3 a la vez, ¿sabes?
Please open the door, sir. Stay close.
Hostia, hay un hombre lobo allí. Hay un hombre lobo allí, tío.
Ain't safe here for a gentleman. Sir, no civilians allowed. Step away, sir. Don't come no closer. Sir, no civilians allowed.
Vale, que luche contra el hombre lobo. Joder, tío.
Get back in the tree! Closed.
Hola María, buenas noches. Tenemos varios finales en este juego, no lo sabía. escopeta. A tomar por culo.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Está cerrada la puerta, tío.
I cannot enter. It's locked.
¿Por qué hay una puerta que no se puede abrir? Aquí necesito alguna llave especial, necesito alguna habilidad. ¿Alguien sabe de responderme?
Whitechapel. This neighborhood is linked somehow to the kind Lady Ashbury's blackmail. First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Another drunk arsehole littering the
Sort of bloody jump.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
Agotamiento, le puedo curar.
Do you need assistance?
Please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey! I didn't do anything, it ain't me!
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. If she's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
Goodbye, young man.
Me? I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy. I won't end up another drunk
What?
arsehole.
Shooting a boy in the middle of the street? Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see.
Lo que me gusta de este juego es que hay
and all
mucho
this shit.
narrativa, pero no se te hace amena, no se te hace pesado. Porque son informaciones que te das cuenta que son importantes. No son charlas que llamo yo de relleno.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. Now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
Tiene migraña. Tiene un hijo. Nos puede facilitar 2 pistas más. A ver, Palmer. Está recuperándose.
You don't seem well, Benjamin. Do you need any help?
I always feel ill, sir. It's like I'm never right.
Ningún tratamiento, no tengo tratamiento
I will
migraña.
see you later. Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills.
Si he jugado Siberia
Woman is
a todos.
phantom, if you ask
El
me.
último
Really?
lo jugué una o dos
And why
horas
is
y lo
that?
dejé.
Word is she ain't real. She's just a cover for some
También.
doctor who runs an illegal dispensary
Buenas
for
noches,
migrants.
Javier Antares. Buenas noches, José. También he comprado Eternights. Y en una hora podré jugarlo. Como tú, Vampyr. Me gustó mucho y cuando lo jugué. Tiene encanto y buena atmósfera. Bueno, pues Javier, tiene buena pinta ese juego, que hemos comprado. Tiene muy buena pinta.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes. Sounds like shell shock. I've seen a few cases like yours. This is nothing you should be ashamed of, Benjamin. And it's perfectly natural in your situation.
Not ashamed. I just need my pills. Peace and quiet, that's all.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy he just faked me last nerve.
A gun, alcohol, and a bad temper make a terrible cocktail, sir. Goodbye for now.
Me, I'll not die in some pissed.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
What do you think of the locals?
Most of them are afraid or desperate. They all come to me eventually for my remedy.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants as soon as they get here.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
Swanborough cordial can be the answer to all your problems. As long as you have the money.
The sick and suffering.
When science fails you, this elixir will
Someday
give you
you'll
faith
understand.
again.
You've wasted your life away.
Vale, hemos descubierto un refugio. Como todo muerto, ¿no? ¿Qué pasa aquí? ¿Qué pasa aquí? Hay masacre, ¿no? Han entrado aquí alguien y se ha cargado a la familia. Aquí se puede mover, vale. Ah, esto no es un refugio, es una casa, ya está, ni más ni menos. Yo pensaba que sería un refugio. Pero no, es una casa. Esto no nos sirve como refugio, entonces. Ah, vale, aquí arriba, aquí arriba. Vale, vale. Esto es el refugio, sí. Me imagino que esta puerta está desbloqueada ahora puedo entrar y salir por esa puerta siempre que quiera. Me imagino. No lo sé. Hola Jordi, que si suelo comprar... Yo siempre puedo comprar un digital, pero por comodidad, por rapidez. Pero me gusta más el físico. Vale, ya está. Una vez que la desbloquea la puerta del interior, ya puede entrar desde fuera también. Ay, me quedo sin batería, mando. Me quedo sin batería. Menos mal que tengo... Bueno, voy a cargar este. Ahora vengo. Tengo otro. Aquí tengo otro. Y ya está. Joder, este también tiene poca batería. Me cachi la mar. Bueno, es igual. Siempre estoy ahí. A ver. Siempre puedo poner el cable, ¿no? Ah, vale, el suelo sanguíneo diluido. Vale. Bueno, a ver. Vamos a hacer algo. Vamos a crear medicinas, ¿no? Y dormir un poco y ya está. Anemia, ¿no? Agotamiento, ¿no? Agotamiento. Este. De migraña. Tratamiento para migraña. Bueno, poquito a poquito vamos mejorando el personaje, ¿no? ¿En qué dificultad estoy jugando? En normal. Mira. ¿Dónde lo pone? ¿Dónde lo pone? Normal. Mira, el primer vídeo allí puse normal. Juego en normal. No juego en difícil. No soy tan bueno. ¿Ves? Esa habilidad no la conocía. A ver. No sé cuál es esa.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your
Sí, iba a
fancy
jugar
colleagues are
Borderlands
too
2,
afraid of
pero
being
todo el mundo me
stabbed in the
dijo
back.
This part of
que
town
tenía
does
razón.
have quite a
Juega,
reputation.
sigue jugando
Would you
Borderlands
say
3,
it's justified?
que aún me quedan unas
Totally.
8 de horas.
Look at me, for instance.
Y cuando lo complete,
I always look my
me quedan,
opponent in the eye
8 de
before
horas, nos
knocking him
metemos a
out.
tope con el 2. Entonces tenían razón, mejor jugar el 3, que nos quedan un par de decisiones, y meternos a tope con el 2.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now,
A mí me encanta este
sod
juego,
off.
me gusta. Tiene unos picas de terror, A mí me da miedo, Cuando veo, si me acerco a los vampiros, me da un toque de miedo que no veas.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine and is supposed to live around here.
Sí,
Dorothy
8 de
Crane.
horas, porque me quedan
Yeah, I know.
5 o 7.
One of the few
Misiones
good souls
secundarias.
who dare to help the sick around here.
Y
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl.
Creo que 5 misiones
Tries to help the
principales.
migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said
Es largo,
my
es largo.
reputation would attract too much
Me lo
attention.
voy a completar unas 100 horas. Más o menos, 90, 100, entre 90 y 100.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Joe, please, I don't have your money. Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind. Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes. Those bloody immigrants should know their place, eh? How dare they do a better job than the lazy natives of this land?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Aquí tiene un montón de cosas. El problema es que no tengo dinero, tío. El problema está que no tengo dinero.
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched. Don't let your guard down.
You again? What do you want this time?
Los extorsionistas de Joe han llevado a Barrett Levis a una complicada situación financiera. Vale, esto es un mafioso, tío.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
You survive at any cost, even at the expense of others. Perhaps that's just the law of nature.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Y una bronquitis.
There's nobody here. It's locked, all right.
Aquí está la doctora. No, la enfermera, perdón. Aquí está la enfermera.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Good evening, my dear colleague.
Goodbye, Miss Swanborough. Perhaps we'll talk again.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call, Barrett. You pay one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's sake.
I prefer not to give you another beating, Barrett.
La iglesia.
So,
Forgive my interruption.
do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them. Those minions from the abyss.
Que arreglarlo urgentemente. Pues tengo entendido que el parche, si lo vemos, igual tardaron meses. Mientras haya gente que le gusta el juego y diga que está bien, no le corre el precio.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Science and progress are our only hope against the monstrosity hidden behind this epidemic.
See, Doctor? Now you acknowledge the presence of evil within the city's walls.
Hoy me he pasado
now you start to admit the truth.
El Diablo 4, ¿te lo has pasado? Muy bien, David. ¿Y seguirás jugando o qué harás? Yo es que... no sé. No te digo ahora, ¿no? Pero aquí 2 o 3 meses seguiré jugando con David, Diablo 4. Ese juego me acuerdo que me vicié de tal manera que todos los días jugaba.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost?
10 horas como mínimo.
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition. What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences, and most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
I have heard enough. Goodbye.
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to Whitechapel. But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious. Never goes out. Doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He has no relatives at all?
No. Except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the
José,
fever.
¿qué tal este juego? Está bueno.
Do you think the flu is really responsible
Si
for
te
this,
gusta este tipo de
Doctor?
juego, investigación, las charlas estas para sacar información, pistas, ambientación de aquella época, no había la gripe española, la ambientación de Vampiro y también sale el hombre lobo. Todo. Está guapo el juego.
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
Pues yo quiero más un juego de coches. Y esto le verá aburrido a lo mejor.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No.
Bueno, después de la charla tendremos que guardar
Death
partida.
of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Está resfriado. Bronquitis, agotamiento, anemia.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
José, me acabo de comprar el lote completo de Borderlands. El mismo que me he comprado yo, pero la serie G. Bien.
Are you
Ahí
aware
tienes horas,
that your life
Si
could
quieres
be in
jugar
danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself,
Está
alone.
bien porque luego volverá, bueno, costará 150 euros, ¿no?
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you, for a start, my dear Doctor.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent.
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the arid hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox, the stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much. And that's the beauty of it. She can't speak, you know. She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness and sweetness.
And have you ever tried to learn more about her? Where she lives? How she survives? Whom she may know?
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
I'll leave you alone, sir. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions. I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl in the street at night. It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly. Tell me about Richard Nethercott. I understand he is quite fond of you, Camellia. Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever. I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Very well. Goodbye then.
Okay, a ver si...
Hello again, miss.
¿Sí, entonces de otra forma? No, no hay nada que ver. Aquí no contesta ni...
Very well. Goodbye then.
Esta la tenía que comérmela. Pero tiene una persuasión del nivel 5. Yo tengo el 1. No puedo comérmela. Esta caerá. Vale, vale. Esta me la voy a comer.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
This week, Joe. Come on, we can sort it out, right?
It's not my call,
Tendría que ir a dormir ya, que tenemos que dejar el juego ya. Vamos.
Okay, one way or another.
Please, Joe. How long have we known each other? We even used to be neighbours, for Christ's
sake. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is despicable. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Está súper interesante este juego, ¿eh? Me está gustando muchísimo. Me gusta muchísimo. Pero claro, al principio no te enteraba de su mecánica y me ponía nervioso. Pero una vez que entendí la mecánica... Uf, está guapo el juego. Mola, mola. A ver, podemos hacer mejoras. podemos hacer. Nos falta un poquito más para mejorar. Aumento de salud. Aumenta salud. Tampoco. La mordedura. Me falta. Vamos a darle esto. No podemos hacer nada más. Confirmar. A dormir. Este está enfermo, este tiene bronquitis, este tiene resfriado, este migraña. Agotamiento, este lo podemos curar. Muy guapo. Hemos subido a nivel 10. Ya estamos a nivel 10. Vale, pues ya hemos subido a nivel 10. Estupendo. Qué dinero, ¿no? Qué guapo el juego. El juego es guapísimo, tío. Es muy guapo, muy guapo. Me gusta. Bueno, señores, ya estamos a nivel 10. Y nada, lo dejamos que nos ponemos en otro directo. Que eso sí que tiene una pinta. Que hoy lo estrenamos, ¿eh? En 2 minutos nos vemos. Hasta ahora.